The Wedding of Tears. The morning of the wedding broke with heavy skies, as though even heaven itself mourned for Amarachi. The village awoke to the sound of drums, not the joyous rhythm of celebration, but a slow, dreadful beat that seemed to drag sorrow from the ground. Amarachi sat inside the hut, her face pale, her eyes swollen from nights without sleep. Her father sat opposite her, his shoulders slumped, his head buried in his hands. He could not bear to look at her. His heart was weighed down with guilt. Heavier than iron, each drum beat outside felt like a nail being hammered into his soul. "Papa," Amarachi whispered, her voice trembling. He looked up at her and saw the brokenness in her eyes that once sparkled with dreams of school, laughter, and the joy of youth. Now they were filled only with fear and despair. "Why must I go through this? I am only a child." Okichukwu's lips trembled, but no words came. What answer could he give? That poverty had stolen her freedom, that his weakness had sold her innocence. His tears fell silently, wetting the dust on the floor. The villagers began to gather outside, drawn by the sound of the drums. Some women whispered prayers under their breath, their hearts aching for the young girl. Others covered their faces, unable to watch such cruelty unfold. The men stood in silence, their eyes darting away whenever Amarachi's name was mentioned. Everyone knew it was wrong, but no one dared to speak against Nana, for his wealth made him untouchable. Soon, the time came. Amarachi was dressed in beads and wrappers, her body adorned like a bride, yet her soul felt like it was being led to the slaughter. Each step she took outside the hut was heavy, as though her feet resisted the very ground. The drums grew louder, mocking her sorrow. The crowd parted as she walked, her face streaked with tears. Children clutched their mothers, sensing the tragedy but not fully understanding it. Old women shook their heads, their eyes wet with tears of helplessness. At the edge of the gathering stood Okichukwu. His knees were weak, his chest tight, as though his very breath had been stolen. He wanted to scream, to run forward, to snatch his daughter away. But poverty had tied his hands and sealed his lips. When Amarachi reached the center, she stopped. The crowd went silent. She turned her face towards her father, her tears shining like broken glass. Her voice cracked as she cried out, "Papa, why must I suffer because we are poor?" The words cut through the air, piercing every heart present. The women gasped, the men shifted uncomfortably, and even the children felt the weight of her pain. Okichukwu fell to his knees, his tears flowing uncontrollably. But no one moved. No one spoke. The silence was louder than thunder. And so Amarachi was led away, not as a bride of joy, but as a sacrifice to poverty's cruelty. To be continued in Part 3, where the full price of poverty is revealed.